My name's Trevor from Lakewood Consulting. Today, I'd like to introduce you to a delicious opportunity to solve Taco Bell's biggest question: how to create sustainable, long-term growth over time. Now, I'm going to lay out the presentation structure for today's presentation. First off, we're going to start you off with the problem and the solution. Then, we're going to go into a brief executive summary. Following that, we'll go into a brief history of small industry analysis, do some company analysis, and then explore the alternatives. Finally, we'll tackle the implementation plan, which will detail our solution to this problem. Now, the problem and the solution. The question is really, does Taco Bell need to create growth through introducing a breakfast menu or by playing it safe with its logo taco line? The solution? It's breakfast time, baby. This is a creative implementation for new growth. It's a fresh take on what Taco Bell is already doing, and it capitalizes on the current popular breakfast market that customers and consumers genuinely want. Now, we're facing low growth as a company, and we're going to solve this through a breakfast menu. Our competitors are also going down this route. McDonald's, which generates over 25% of its revenue through breakfast sales, and Burger King, which is on a comparable level, are also trying to capitalize on the breakfast trend. Our goal is to catch up to our competitors and excel at our craft, and we're going to do that using the unique Taco Bell brand and the unique Taco Bell cooking. If we do this, we can expect higher long-term growth, which is exactly what our company is looking for. Now, we're going to do a quick, brief historical analysis and look at some of the past facts to determine our delicious new future. Now, our company background, okay? We are a global leader in quick-serve food. We have dynasty performance, that is double-digit gains over the past couple of years, all for financial returns in the past couple of years. Our high margins sit at 11.5%, and growth has always been a top priority for our company. In fact, that's why you have me here today, to find a way for you guys to continue these high levels of growth. Now, in 2013, we had over $13.6 billion of revenue just from this brand alone, and what we're looking for is incremental, sustainable, long-term future growth thanks to our new brands. Now, here's a fact. This solution fits. It fits the Bell market. Edgy 20-something-year-olds love a good breakfast. Me, anybody of my age, when we wake up from that night out or from that regular morning, we want a good breakfast to help fuel a great day. And if we get something good, something creative, something awesome from Taco Bell, it would remain consistent with our core brand values, and it would show us that Taco Bell is genuinely solutions for our market. It shows that they care about us, that they want us, that they need us to help them propel themselves into the next age of breakfast marketing. Now, it capitalizes on the existing breakfast trend as well. Currently, over 21% of visits to restaurants are breakfast related. Now, the potential for this means that we can see revenue increases of 20%. These are massive swaths of new customers, provided that we're able to get over some initial hurdles. Now, these are our main decision criteria. This is what we need to judge the effectiveness of our plan based off of. First off, we need to return to double-digit growth. It's imperative that our company is going to be able to maintain this throughout its life. Secondly, we really want to attract new customers. And third, franchise support. Without our franchisees, who are the majority, in fact, I believe 95% of our entire company structure, those are the people that we really want to support and we really need to keep. Now, we're going to move on to our industry analysis here. As you've seen, the breakfast trend is really starting to emerge. Breakfast is 1% of total restaurant visits in North America. McDonald's itself has a 25% breakfast revenue stream, which is incredible considering that McDonald's has only ever been seen as a dinner and lunch option. Now, as you know, 18 to 24 is our critical age group. It represents a $12.5 billion breakfast market. That's a massive market that Taco Bell has yet to tap into. And as you've seen as well, lunch and dinner on the decline right now, declining by small figures, however, noticeable figures, 3%, 4%, 5% over the past couple of years. We need to address this and understand that breakfast is an emerging trend that Taco Bell needs to capitalize on. Let's take a quick look at our macro analysis. So within the breakfast sphere, competition is relatively high. We have firms such as Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, and regular mom-and-pop breakfast chains all competing for our consumers. With the substitution levels, they're in that moderate range. Consumers are typically loyal to Taco Bell. However, there are other brands out there, and we need to be sure that we win them over through quality food and quality marketing. Now, buyer power. The switching costs here are incredibly low. What do you have to lose when you go to a different restaurant? Absolutely nothing. All you want is a pure taste of a new brand. The supplier power, it's fairly low. Our parent company, will handle all that supply side negotiation for us, so our franchisees really don't have to worry about that. And our new entrants, it's growing rapidly. McDonald's is getting in, Wendy's is getting in, our competitors, these massive brands and people are moving into the breakfast market. And if we get there first, it's going to pay us massive dividends in the future. And that's why I'm urging you to move towards this solution today. Now, our financial performance. As you've seen, we have had a steady increase in company sales. However, it's the details that you really want to. As you see over the past couple of years, we have 9.783, 10,893, and 11,833,000 units of sales here. So these figures, I believe, are all in thousands of dollars. We want to pay attention to what's going on here. We did exhibit a massive level, that double-digit dynasty-style growth, 2010, 2011. But in 2012, we saw something that we weren't expecting to see, single-digit growth. For the first time in years, Taco Bell's rally was over. We need something new. The local tacos just aren't enough anymore. These new exciting Dorito brands, they do well. However, they aren't what Taco Bell needs for its long-term financial future. And that's why it needs to move towards something new. The key success factors will be changing our customers' routines, garnering franchisee support, and using consistent, effective advertising to implement our plan. Well, let's take a quick look at our SWOT analysis for our company. So we do have a couple of very strong internal strengths. Firstly, we have a huge loyalty within that 18 to 24 single guy market. People want our food. It's good stuff. I mean, personally, it's delicious. It falls out. It's fun to eat. And that's part of the allure of Taco Bell. But when we transition into the breakfast market, we need to be careful to maintain that image. With the opportunities, there's a largely untapped quick serve breakfast market. McDonald's is capitalizing on it, but it's one of the few that's actually in there. And the demographics are begging for new and exciting breakfast foods. We don't want that boring monotony, us just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, eating cereal or eggs or simple breakfast that nobody really. Now, the company will not be able to cook the food on the site, which is a little bit of a disadvantage. However, most chains already do this. If you look at Tim Hortons in Canada, it does cook a portion of its food on site. However, the majority of it actually comes in on these trucks. The logistics works perfectly for them. Tim Hortons has done incredibly well in Canada, and we can copy that formula and translate it into success across North America. McDonald's and Burger King are also trying to capitalize on this burger trend and the threats, and others may be slightly better equipped to handle this. McDonald's can cook its own food in restaurant. It has the gear. The franchisees wanted to pay for the upgrades. But Taco Bell can use its existing resources to do the exact same thing. Let's take a quick look at our alternatives now. So it's a success by choice, and is going for this breakfast menu truly the best option? Let's take a look at it. So our key challenge for an effective implementation, primarily we need to change our customers' routines. Instead of waking up and having this boring breakfast, we want them to go and have something exciting. Have them get Taco Bell, that one in a million, delicious, messy breakfast that really brightens up your day. We also really want to gather the support of our franchisees. It's important that we keep their support, as 95% of our company is structured in that way. It's been incredibly beneficial for us, as we have very low capital costs and low margins due to the fact that we don't actually manage a lot of our own restaurants. And finally, in order to achieve all this, we need to effectively and consistently advertise. We cannot take a break. Taco Bell has to be synonymous with when we go onto the internet, especially within that 18 to 24 age group. Now, let's say you go onto Twitter. The first thing you want to see is a little bit of Taco Bell. And maybe once a week, but once a week, every month, those simple clicks, that minimal investment, 25 cents per click. It's super simple, super quick, but it puts the Taco Bell brand in their mind. Instead of thinking cereal or eggs or a breakfast sandwich or coffee, let's think of taco. Let's think something exciting like a burrito. Now, our first option, our first alternative is Let's Get Loco. This is sticking with the local taco reliable brand. Now, the kind of cons of this are that it may not generate the desired growth that we're looking for. We're probably not going to receive a return to those double digits. And otherwise, it also risks overusing that brand of local tacos, and that's something we might want to keep in store to release synonymously with other brands during larger events. Now, our second option is just apathy. This requires no investment or alteration. It's essentially risk-free, but we're going to pay for that. It's going to lead to further growth stagnation. That trend line that you saw, that 12, 11, 8, it's going to keep going in that direction. It's imperative that we take action. Additionally, our franchisees are relying on us to create new products and a new entire way of thinking so that we can have franchise support. Now, my solution, and the best solution in my opinion, is breakfast time, baby. This capitalizes on current trends and the company's core values. The kind of risks are that it can be seen as a risk, and I'm going to show you how we can mitigate that a little bit. So let's take a quick look at this key issues and solutions charts. As you can see, Let's Get Loco, it does cause a small growth increase. It does keep the support of the franchisees because it's fairly simple, and we are ready to tackle it inside. With apathy, I don't think we're going to see any growth. No new customers, no franchise support, but we are, and externally. Customers are ready for it, we are ready for it. It's what they know. Our third option is to make a real change, is to get something going. This will cause a growth increase. The new excitement will bring us new customers. Franchises will love us. We're bringing them new customers, new products, new ideas, and new energy to tackle their day. We are internally ready for this. It takes some small adaptations to move our equipment over with relatively minimal investment. And the market's ready. As you've seen, the trend is there and we are ready to go. Now my recommendation fundamentally is that it's time for Taco Bell to become part of the breakfast market segment. It will allow us to see a return to that double-digit growth that we needed, attract new customers, and increase loyalty fundamentally. It will also allow us to improve the support from franchisees. Now our implementation plan. And in all honesty, the trend suggests otherwise. We are seeing breakfast places, breakfast meals, breakfast menus. People want this food. It's a desire. Secondly, it's losing franchise support. And if we use these incremental release steps, if we have a trial period, if we have evidence-based information for these franchises to see, what do they have to lose? They have support from the parent company. They have evidence from other companies. They have evidence from their franchise, their partners, their friends, any of these big conferences that Taco Bell hosts where franchises are able to come and meet up with each other. It might even be a good solution to increase communication using that method so people can truly see how franchises are being successful implementing this breakfast plan. The third risk, I think, is that we're going to be unable to change the customer perception. And I think creative advertising is the solution to make breakfast fun again. Doritos and Taco Bell, that unique Super Bowl commercials and on regular commercials, that is something special, and we need to capitalize on that. So let's say we're going to have some creative advertising here. The ad that I picture in my head, the ad that I think would garner the most support from our customers would be to have people eating breakfast, normally, boringly, having their cereal, their eggs, their toast, their orange juice, and then rock and roll. People who are eating tacos, waffles, syrup, delicious breakfast foods that you can use to energize your day, motivate you, inspire you. They're fun food. People want them, and if they get them, hey, my day is great. I'm going to talk about it to my friends. This is fantastic. That brand, that Taco Bell brand, will begin to slowly move into the minds of our customers. Now let's talk about our timeline. What will this really look like? Immediately, I think it's important that we release this idea into select franchises. This would allow us to kind of get that initial base of support and do an essential test market and see what's going on. We would then want to expand the advertising and couponing within the first 2 to 4 months to build a little bit of hype around the product and get some exposure out to it. Get people looking at it, thinking about it, pondering it. Then within 4 to 8 months, we want to begin prep for a nationwide expansion. Now, what would this really look like? It would look like the parent company marketing heavily online, sorts of places, primarily on Twitter, Facebook, social media, where that 18 to 24 demographic is located. And then on month 8, after we have that test run from the companies, we're going to launch the program across the U.S. Now, it's important to say that if it doesn't work, if in those first 2 to 4 months we're seeing that, hey, consumers aren't really liking this release, they think breakfast ideas is not a good idea. It's simple. Only a few restaurants have tried it. It's not a nationwide implementation. We haven't lost yet. So we should transition back towards that local taco release and stay in the safe zone. However, in the meantime, it is important to take that risk and go out with those other breakfast places within just a few franchises. Releasing the product within just a few franchises is absolutely critical to the long-term success of this plan because it truly gauges the popularity of it. Now, let's move on to a quick recap. Taco Bell can support an effective transition into the breakfast market. As mentioned, it would require that we simply reuse our equipment in unique ways and product that has been pre-warmed or pre-frozen into the restaurants to be warmed up to be used. It's a simple logistic transition. Same with sales and marketing. It's a simple transition. By just using creative ads on Twitter, on Facebook, online, in the media, even in paper ads, by doing something viral, unique, we can garner that support. And finally, to close it off, this is a delicious solution to a delicious opportunity. This is how we're going to create long-term sustainable growth within the Taco Bell brand. And I truly believe that breakfast is the way to go to sustain a financially sound and successful future for the Taco Bell brand and its people. Thank you for your time.